Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. You are responsible for your own happiness. Happiness never comes from outside you. If you put happiness in someone else's hands, they can always take it away. Happiness can only come in from inside you and a result of your love. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials up 11, NASDAQ was down 10, S&Ps were down $1, gold contract down $5, trading at $1,457 an ounce. Silver down 27 cents at $23.83 an ounce. Platinum up $9 at $1,477 an ounce. Copper down 5 pennies at $3.18 a pound. Light sweet crude off 73 cents, trading out at $92.90 a barrel. Bonds, big move on bonds, folks. Bonds up 28.6 at 148.26. King dollar down 300 ticks at 82.54. Euro up 19, trading out 130.30, and the yen down $1.21, trading out at 98.05. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. I'll tell you, it's wild. There's no doubt, folks. So, what do we have? Okay. We get down to a price point of 1577. Rejects lower price. Close at 1583. What does that do? Game was on once again for 1597. This high in the S&P wants to get tested from the 11th. We did 662 million versus that 746, and I suspect you're going to see that test next week. That's in your S&Ps. We go over to the Dow Industrials. We take a look at the Dow Industrials. What you have in the Dow? Dow more than likely won't test the highs, and this is why. The Dow Industrials have gone sideways again. The volume's light. It's the S&P right now that wants to go up and tag it. And the reason I suspect that the Dow won't test is because what we've had is this. We had IBM come off the highs with a high volume, wide price spread, get destroyed. GE, same deal. 3M, same deal. Procter & Gamble, same deal. Bottom line is that the Dow's a mess, So the Dow, headline-wise, I think already did it. NASDAQ Composite. We go over to the Composite. Same deal with the Composite. What you have with the Composite can do it. Composite. Now, what's interesting about the Composite is this, folks. If I'm in Mr. Steve Rhodes, you happen to be into candlestick charting, let me tell you something. That's a Tri-Star Doji out here today, and Tri-Star Dojis are really hard to do, folks. It's a really close one, but the bottom line, this is what a Tri-Star Doji is. Tri-Star Doji is, first you get a Doji at a high, then you get a gap away with a Doji at another high, then you get a gap down, and it's close about the gap down today, but it's basically look like it's there. So we're down $10. You're trading out at $32.79. We did 1.6 versus 2 billion. Now I suspect you're still going to get the spike. You're going to get the spike into the high of the 11th. Also, that spike up there is 33.06. Today we hit 32.87. So bottom line, it looks to me like yes, it wants to get up into that level. We look at the. Let's just go to the SPY next. You look at the SPY. What you have with the SPY, same deal. You pull back, you have light volume. SPY wants to go up and tag that. You look at the 3 Qs. Inside the 3 Qs, what you have, same type of setup. You're pushing there with lighter volume, but bottom line is it wants to go tag it once again. This is no doubt setting up. It's setting up for a May deal, which is just really wild. But bottom line, that's what it is. And correlation-wise, as to how we pushed last week versus this week, in the Qs, we pushed higher this week with 182 million versus 326 million last week versus the 174. And you're going into 161. So the juice just isn't there. If we go back into the SPY and we take a look at the SPY, what you'll have in the SPY is this. SPY is basically almost the same setup. We put this on the weekly. What you're going to see in the weekly is this, is that the SPY pushed this week with 920 million, and what we had is, let's see, Let's see. Oh, I see. 592. We pushed with 592 million versus 900 million. So bottom line is that, you know, that SPX wants to test the high. That's about it. Gold contract. Let's go take a look at gold. What they did with gold out here today, you had a fast sell-off, folks. Gold contract today got to a price point of $14.84, closed out at $14.56, had 228,000 contracts. Now, that's good, by the way, okay? The contract value is good. It's going to need a lot more. But what you will see is that, you know, this bottom's going to get tested. I mean, the fast reaction downtown today was pretty intense. If we go over to the bond market, what we have with bonds is this. Bonds are basically getting ready to launch. They closed right at their high, 323,000 contracts. You know, this bond right now, we're at 148.26. That's the 30-year. She wants to go to 151. Bottom line, that's on a short-term basis. On a longer-term basis, she wants to go to 160. Dollar index. Okay, so now take a look at the dollar index, because this is where understanding also the makeup of the weighting structure in the dollar index is important. So today, what do? We come down 300 ticks. You did 25,000 contracts while you're still building cars for higher price. And all of that movement, by the way, folks, has to do with the yen, because the yen basically finally made a pullback, you know, and got stronger. But the dollar index itself was coming into 51,000 contracts. So bottom line, dollar still wants to, you know, we've been building cars in the dollar now since, let's see, March 1st. March 1st. And if we go over to the yen for a second, what I do expect in the yen, today was the first decisive break. Well, I guess it wasn't the first decisive break. We had one about a week and a half ago. But this yen, we're at 97. That yen can get back to 90. And what that will do is that will put pressure on the dollar index versus, you know, which will, it'll put some pressure on it. But the euro is the biggest weighting structure inside the dollar index. So if the euro pulls back, which I expect it will, you know, it'll basically probably even itself out. The reason being is that because the yen has got so weak, meaning the pullback in it, because this is the B to C of a large ABC structure up on the yen. But as you pull back, that'll put some pressure on the dollar index. As the euro goes down, that will put some juice into it. And the structure, the 60% is the number in the euro, which is dramatically much more than I think the yen's only about 20%. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. Now, in the world of the home builders, folks, okay, they are in an ABC structure on the way up. D.H. Horton blew away a B point today, did it with volume. It's trading out at 26.66. And it's you know, bottom line is that this was a classic, too. You know, talk about first acceleration up, you know, when we take a look at D.H. Horton in November, it's trading out at $17, runs all the way up to a price point of 26. Last time it had any real strength, however, was when it broke topside on November 29th. The bottom of that is 22. The volume characteristic was 22 million. Well, watch what happens. It pulls all the way back to that level with 5 million. Takes off again. So what you have is this. The B point on this is 25. Your A point is 17. So we get $8, approximately $8. Which gives you $29.54. We put this on a weekly basis, and what you have on the weekly basis is that she's got a. Oh, so check this out, folks. This is multiple ABC structures on the weekly basis. She took out the B point on a weekly February 1st, and that all that turned into was a complex ABC structure. And she's on a weekly. Let me see if she's on a monthly too. This is going to be a trip. Let's see. So on a monthly, yeah, she is on a monthly too. Okay, so on a monthly you have 370. So it's $12 on a monthly, which gets you to 20. She was a monthly also. Bottom line is that these home builders are on a tear. There's no two ways about it. If you do happen to be in the Boston area, don't forget Nadex, folks, is sponsoring a workshop. That is going to be on May 11th. Daryl Mott and myself, we're going to be up there at the Boston Marriott, which is in Burlington, Mass. If you'd like to go to that, folks, it's in 8:30 in the morning to 12:30. It's a free workshop. You can sign up right on the front page of TFNN. If you happen to be an accredited investor and you want to know and see the real estate that we actually own right now and how it's doing, I'm going to be doing a presentation on May 9th. From 6:30 to 8 o'clock at the Burlington Marriott. You can email us at tigerfund@tfnn.com if you want more information. We're going to be right back, folks.